No, how dare you say those evil, mean things to Lizzie just now? That was completely unacceptable. If it weren't for the fact that we were not live, I would be thrashing you right now. Oh crap, we're live. Hi everybody. John, he was being so mean to Lizzie just there a few minutes ago before we logged in, and you caught the end of my rant, but you know it was epic. And Johnny's really sorry for being mean to Lizzie, aren't you, John?
What?
Oh yeah, thanks. Nice.
Listen to me, people. He went straight over his head. Well, that was a wasted 5 minutes of an epic rant that nobody will ever see because it wasn't caught live. What a
Sorry,
shame.
Sam. Sorry, what? I can't hear you, mate. Donald Ducking. Donald Ducking.
Donald Ducking, what?
It means I'm flipping in and out.
What?
My audio.
Oh, okay. That's a new one on me.
That's a whole thing.
Ah, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Anything you don't understand with us, Lizzie, it's a whole thing. It's just the best way to answer it.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
We've not painted Hull in a good light ever.
Nope. But nobody ever does. I mean, it's not like it's a bad place. It's just that there's nothing there.
Not a bad place.
You can go around Hull in an hour, and I got left once at the train station for 2 hours. So, you know, that's sort of where we are. Wait, did you have Dunkin' not see the other one? Krispy Kremes.
Oh, yeah, Krispy Kreme.
Oh, yeah, we have a Krispy Kreme now in St. Stephen's.
Krispy Kreme.
Oh, shush.
We've actually got I haven't been there yet, but in St. Stephen's, they've just opened an interesting little ice cream coffee shop that looks interesting. Ooh. They do proper milkshakes made out of ice cream.
Oh, that sounds nice.
I know. I like proper milkshakes. There's very few places that do them. I mean, I can't stand like McDonald's or Burger King milkshakes because they're just like cement.
Yeah, you need something that's not. You need to be able to drink it, not just sort of suck it and the whole cup comes up.
Yeah.
I remember Sam when there was at TFN or Art Assembly one year. When was at the Hilton? I remember we went for something to eat. To look on the food, went into actual at the NEC thing. We went to the far end where the food court is near the airport, and I think I remember. Did you buy something like? Did you buy like some sort of milkshakey drinky thing? But you literally ended up almost like popping an air or something in your head trying to suck it.
Yeah, it was something. I think it was from Burger King or something. It was like a milkshake of some description, and I remember watching them make it, and then when they'd finished making it, I had to think to myself, what the hell? Because they were practically scooping this semi-solid mass into a cup, and then after they gave it to me, I was kind of holding it and thinking, this cup feels very heavy. Is there even any liquid in this? I ended up having to literally eat it with a spoon because it was that thick.
It took him ages to eat it. I remember it was at a Burger King, didn't we? We went to a Burger King, or McDonald's or Burger King or something that's just in the airport. But it's funny. Oh, and I can't forget good old Sammy, how he devoured that burger. That was hilarious. He should have been there.
Both things. It's ridiculous how thin he is for the amount of food he devours. You blink and it's gone.
The poor guy was absolutely starving. I don't think he'd eaten since like the morning, or I don't think he'd eaten at all. And he just literally was. We somehow got our food first, and then as we got our food, started getting our food, Sam started getting served, and they got their food. And I remember when we got our food first, all I could see was this Sammy just kind of turned around to us, and he's just like staring at our burgers like that. And I was just like, "Hey, Sammy." And he's like, and his burger come, and it was just like, "Oh, gone." Okay, it's a shame he ain't coming this year, but I won't be surprised if he does show up though. I mean, I don't think he will. He's adamant he's not coming, but I've got a feeling that at least he might have. I think he might pop down for one day instead of like.
Not going this year. A lot of my friends in the Nottingham group aren't going either.
There's quite a few not going this year. There's also Stu. The Mighty Grimlock, he's not going either.
Adam's not going either.
I don't know who else is going or not going. I know obviously.
What is that cat doing?
He's asleep. Kind of half asleep.
That's just weird. A weird cat.
His head's on my arm and his feet is my other arm. I know Andrew Morris, who was there last year, ain't going, or I don't think he's got the time off.
Yeah. I think Andrew Morris might be coming now.
Oh, is he?
He originally was. He pretty much he private messaged me saying that he might not be able to go. I'm not going to say what he said, but he just said he might not be able to make it, and he's upset because he wants to meet Stan Bush and so on. And then he pretty much messaged me about a week ago, and I think he said he might have got it sorted out, so he might be there. I don't know what day he's getting there for, but he might make it.
Okay.
I don't know who's coming and who's not. I know Brad and all them lot are still coming, like Exilian and that. The InGen crew, I think some of them are still coming. I don't know about Jared, Wolfgang One, Dave, Smizzy, Emily, his girlfriend. I know them two are coming, but I don't know about anyone else. I literally don't know who's coming because I used to be up to scratch with who was coming and who wasn't, and that was usually when YouTube was good and when people were generally making videos and saying, "I'm coming this year, I'm not coming this year," and you'd know who was and who wasn't. And since it's gone to the TFYTC Facebook group, you don't know who's coming or not because it's constantly busy, being refreshed, new stuff being shared.
Well, I know there were quite a few people that were thinking of not going this year. When Stan Bush got announced, a lot of people said, right, I'm going because Stan Bush is probably the only time I'm ever going to meet the guy. So
I was the same person because when the first proper voice actor was thingied, I think the first voice actor that got announced was that guy we met at MCM Birmingham Comic Con that's going this year. Forgot his name now. Pretty much. When he said it, when he got announced, I was like, oh, maybe this year, maybe the guest lineup isn't going to be as epic as last year, so I might not really have to go this year because obviously originally I was thinking of going to Download Festival instead of TF Nation. Yeah. Sam let me down as always. That's Sam, but he was doing other stuff. But in all fairness, I'm only joking, Sam.
I don't think it's
but anyway, so kind of like yeah, I lost my chain of thought now. So like I said,
that's good this year.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said,
to be honest, I mean, the apart from Stan Bush, there's only the actually you'd want to go see. Apart from Stan Bush, move the cat out of the way. Is there any of the voice actors you actually want to go see?
If I'm going to be completely honest here, not to sound disrespectful, I think I'm only really interested in meeting Stan Bush.
I know.
I mean, I'm no disrespect to the other guests. I mean, that it's great that they're coming, and obviously it's nice to have guests. But this year, I'm only really interested in meeting Stan Bush because out of all the guests, Stan Bush is probably the most obscure guest. He's the guest that realistically I never even crossed my mind that I'd ever get to meet him.
Yeah,
and that to me is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that a lot of people are coming this year mainly because of Stan Bush's concert. Yeah, and obviously to meet the guy as well. But to be honest, I've got a feeling I might not be able to meet him because I know he's going to get absolutely swamped, and I cannot be asked to get in a massive long queue.
The best thing to do is go on Sunday because if I've learned anything at TFN, people always queue the most on Saturday. Sundays, barely anybody queues because people have already queued.
That's true. I never get signatures or anything like that on a Saturday. It's usually a Sunday I might go around when it's a bit quieter.
Another thing to consider is most people will be going for the concert itself.
Yeah.
So by Sunday, we're all just kind of there. we will want to sort of sit down and relax, and that's probably the best time. I mean, the only person I'm slightly interested in of the voice actors would be the guy who played Bayverse Sideswipe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. To be honest with you, I am generally interested in meeting voice actors, regardless, but I don't know much about him.
Mm.
I only obviously, due to the bio that they did for the convention, I only know that obviously he voiced some characters in Transformers Devastation, the game, and also he voiced live action Sideswipe and something else in the movies. But to be quite honest with you, I would like to see Daniel Riordan, who played Galvatron and Megatron in RID, the original RID, back in like 2001, 2002, because that was part of my childhood on Fox Kids and Jetix. I used to watch that when I was a kid, and I've met not Townsend Coleman, the guy who played Optimus Prime in that series. I met that guy. He came to Art Assembly. He went to 2 art assemblies. He went to one of the very first ones, and then he went to one of the last, maybe the second or the very last TF art assembly. He's been to 2.
Yeah. One thing I will say, and this might be a bit controversial, ever since TF Nation took over, it feels like the guests have got worse.
Really?
They're not as. It might be more. To be fair, it might be more my selfish opinion because I don't know as many. But we used to get like, when was Paul Iding? Was that a couple of years back as well? Was that last year? Or was that the year before?
Paul Iding would have been.
Was it year before last? Was it 2016?
Yeah, you might have forgotten that.
It might have been the first TFN.
Well, no, he did that as well. Yeah, he did that, and then he did
the first TFN. And he did the second to last auto assembly.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I thought about the first time I went to TF Nation, to auto assembly,
I think Dan Gilvezan. Was it Dan Gilvezan who played you on Bumblebee? He came twice. He came to auto assembly in TFN, and then obviously the guy. Yeah. Okay. He came to TFN. I think he came to the very first one or the second one, and he went to an auto assembly as well. So he's been twice to that convention over time. And then Paul Iding, who played Perceptor, he's only been once, as I can remember, and that was an auto assembly.
No, he's been twice because he was at the second the second auto assembly that I went to, which was 2012. Because I don't think I got a picture with him. Right. And then he came with.
I don't remember coming twice.
Oh gosh, what's his name? The dude who everybody paid to come over.
Peter Spellos.
Yeah, him. I swear he was there again.
He was there twice. He came to TFN, I think the first TFN as a guest of honor, and the second TFN as kind of like a fundraise guest. And then obviously he's not been twice. He's not been yet. Oh, we've got some people listening. We've got someone called Toza Habijik. Get rid of Bizoglenti. What the hell's that? Bizoglenti. No idea, but thank you for your comment. I have no idea. And I've been disliked for some no fucking reason whatsoever. Because the rat's ass shit. Anyway, so
I'm not saying TFN's got worse. No, but I mean, it might be more because I say the first time I went, there was David Kay and Greg Berger, and I can't remember who else was there. I was excited to see David Kay. And then the next year they had Michael Bell and Paul Iding, because Parallel Perceptor was like, yay. And then I'd say Neil Kaplan. We've had
that's it, Neil Kaplan. Thank you very much. He played Optimus Prime.
We've had Steve Blum. We've had oh god, what's his name? The guy who plays animated Sentinel. Fine.
Townsend Coleman.
He's
been twice.
Yeah. again, I missed him the first time, and then I got him again. We've had the guy.
I've met him both times.
I would like to meet the guy who plays Prime Shockwave because I missed him the first time, and I was really angry about that. I only managed to get his autograph. I wanted a picture with him.
To be honest with you, I'm happy with the guests that we've gotten because, quite frankly, these guys. I mean, obviously, we've had some great G1 fans, guests like Hal Rail. We even had bloody Maggie Roswell, mainly because she's his wife, but she's a flipping voice actress from flipping The Simpsons, and that's as mega as you can get within the voice acting world. Whether you agree with that is up to you, but that is kind of the way it is. You know, The Simpsons is the show for anyone to be a part of. It's the same with like Futurama and all that lot, because literally you have to be a very A-list voice actor in order to really get a job on there. But to be honest with you, like you said about guests,
nope.
I've actually been really happy with the guests we've had, but I will agree they do tend to copy kind of guests. You know, what I mean by that is that, you know, there has been times where, say, Dan Gilverson, don't get me wrong, he's a lovely guy, but he's been twice.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, that's cool, but he's been twice. Townsend Coleman's been twice, even though he's a cool guy as well, but he's been twice. We've only ever had, obviously we've had Scott McNeil once, we've had Gary Short once, which was
Gary Short, Scott McNeil to come back, but I mean, realistically, to my knowledge, have they only ever been once, and that was 2010. That was Auto Assembly 2010. Is that the only time they've ever been? Or was that it? Just that one time?
Yeah, because he hasn't been there since I've been, and I started 2011.
Auto Assembly 2010 was the first time and the only time that Gary and Scott have ever been. And then obviously in 2011, Greg Berger came. Yeah, that's it, Greg Berger, and I want him back.
He would be good.
And also a voice actor that came in 2009, and I kind of feel sorry for him. I never got to meet him because in 2009, Greg Berger came again. So Greg Berger's been twice in Auto Assemblies, not TF Nation, Auto Assemblies. But he's been twice to essentially the convention that it's come to be now. But the other voice actor that came in 2009, I never got to meet him, was the guy who played Cheeto in Beast Wars.
Oh, okay.
He came as well, but unfortunately, he didn't seem to get a good reception. I don't think he was well advertised, or his bio. People didn't really recognize who he was, even though he was freaking Cheeto in Beast Wars, and he also was the voice actor of the Canadian Goku in the Canadian dub. He's a very well-known voice actor in Canada because he's a Canadian voice actor. But I forgot his name now. But anyways, Ian James Collett. That's him. Ian James Collett. I want him to come back to TF Nation because he didn't get, I don't think he got the respect he deserves. He was forgotten about, and people went to Greg Berger instead. Because Greg Berger is Grimlock, and he's like, he's played some iconic roles, and he's Grimlock. He pretty much didn't really get many people to his panels. He didn't really get many people to his table. He was pretty much left to his own devices. That's what I was told from people, and I feel sorry for the guy. And he doesn't seem to really do many conventions now. He does some in Canada and America, but he doesn't really seem to come outside of America, like to Europe or anything anymore. So I'm guessing he kind of got ripped off because, well, I'm not going to say because we're live, but there has been talk about certain things that went on with the guy who organised Auto Assembly. But we'll leave it at that because I don't want to say anything because me and Sam was told not to say anything by someone. So even though people already know, but I'm not going to say anything. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm happy with the people we've met. I mean, I was over the moon and just literally went big time fanboy when Steve Bloom was mentioned. Steve Bloom has literally been in everything since we've been a kid. He's been in Digimon. He played Spike. Sorry, Spike in Cowboy Bebop. He's Wolf's Rain, yeah. What else has he been in?
He's signed a copy of Wolf's Rain.
And I can't even get that anymore. Well, I can, but I have to pay
the original release of Wolf's Rain you cannot get. They are re-releasing it on Blu-ray though.
Really?
You can't get that original release anymore.
When are they releasing the Blu-ray?
I think in about a month or two. It's on Amazon and pre-order at the moment.
All right, I might have to see about that.
For the Blu-ray.
I didn't realise they were re-releasing it. But anyway,
I just want to. Right, I'm going to say something here. Right. Obviously, it's nice having guests, but I generally believe you could have a TF Nation one year where you had no guests, and all you have is just the sellers. People would still come. Because there are a lot of people that go just to meet people they only see once a year. I generally believe that for some people, not all, but some people, that is why they go. They don't really go for the guests or even buying anything. They just go for the social side. To me, I feel like that's more apparent now to me because in the last few years, I've just kind of felt like I like going just for the social side and the great times, and I'm not as interested in buying stuff. And I know that's a lot of people have the same opinions. So, I mean, if say 1 year no guests will come in, apart from maybe just your standard, like artists and writers, let's say, but no voice actors, it wouldn't really change anything. People would still go.
Yeah, they would, because a lot of people go for the social aspect, and it's the social aspect that pretty much keeps people coming, because it's that once in a year opportunity where we can all be one and be who we are and embrace who we are and not be ashamed for what we enjoy and just talk about it and have fun. That is pretty much the beautiful thing about conventions, but specifically TFN and Art Assembly, because it's a rare beast in the convention communities, because a lot of conventions like MCM Comic Con and London Comic Con, you don't have that interaction. You can go and meet whoever you want to meet, but you have to queue and you have to pay ridiculous money in order to do that. And the beautiful thing with TFCon in Canada and America, because obviously they do 2 a year, do a Canadian one and an American one, and also TFN, they kind of work on the same principle where you don't pay for autographs, you just pay your ticket and it's all interlinked within that price of your ticket. So essentially we paid what, 60 quid I think, was it, for our tickets?
I don't know if it was quite 60.
50 no, I thought it was 60 because it's £15 for the concert. So,
no, we had to pay extra. We had to pay extra on top for the concert because it's like
So altogether, it came to about 75. Well, mine certainly came to about £75.
It was about £75 in total with the concert, but the ticket on its own is only about 60 quid. I didn't realise, but they actually said that includes pretty much, if you want to get an autograph, it's pretty much in the price that you pay for the weekend ticket, or the day ticket. So it's all pretty much covered within the price brackets that they come up with. So the amount of people that they get, they're probably going to get nearly 2,000 people over the entire weekend. That's including weekend attenders and day attendees. They're going to get nearly, I'd say 1,500 to 2,000 capacity over the whole weekend easy. So just think about that. 60 times about 2,000 people. They're going to rake that money in, even though they don't take any profit for themselves because they're not allowed to, because they're not an official. They're not an official Hasbro Transformers convention. They're a community convention, so they're not allowed to keep the money. So the money goes straight onto booking new guests.
120,000.
So £120,000. That's fucking hell. I'm in the wrong business.
But that's not when you also include any
You've
money
got to
made by the sellers, because I'm pretty sure the sellers have to give a bit of what they make to TFN, don't they? And like,
I don't know. No,
they do, because I know that there is a price to pay for actually having a spot in Dealers Hall. You don't just get it for free.
I think that's all you pay. The pay for obviously the pay for the table to sell as a trader. You've got to buy a trading pass. So I don't know if you pay a bit more for a trading pass. So you got to pay. You got to pay for a trading pass, and then you've got to pay for your table, like a fee for your table. But and that's why a lot of people like gang up, so it's not as expensive. But yeah, I mean that is the only what you have to pay the convention. But any profit you make on your stall is your money, because at the end of the day, they are all companies. They're all companies that have a business to run, so they're not going to take any of their sales, are they? I mean, they won't be able to do that anyway because they can't keep any of the money for themselves. So, but yeah, I really love. I love TF Nation, and I've enjoyed Art Assembly in the past, and the people I've met, like guest wise, that I've met over that time period, has been a blessing in a way. I never thought I'd ever meet Scott McNeil and Gary Chalk, and they're like my idols. Well, Scott McNeil is a bit more my idol because he voiced all of my favourite characters in Beast Wars. And obviously, so Gary Chalk played the best gorilla ever, Primal. But then, obviously, Steve Bloom, which was awesome. Townsend Coleman was an ace to meet because he voiced the original Michelangelo in TMNT. In the cartoons. Who else was I really excited to see? I did like to see Dan Gilvers when he first come, because I do like G1 Bumblebee. And obviously when he first come, he was kind of like talking about his book that he just wrote, and pretty much the book, I don't know if you remember it, but he was selling them on his stall, and I bought one from him. And I read it, and it's absolutely hilarious. It's just filled full of like behind the scenes, behind the mic kind of stories, kind of like talking about how Chris Latter and Gary Chalk, Frank Welker would kind of like do these like technical kind of like sounds, so that the technician's kind of running around like a madman trying to find out where the interference is coming from. It's actually Frank Welker. It's a great book. If you haven't got it, check Amazon or eBay, anything, Lizzie. And it's only a small book, so it's not a big one.
I got it.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, when he came, when I was there.
There's actually 2 books now, I think.
Yeah, there's another one as well. I can't remember what it's called. But I'd gone to get an autograph from him, and I was like, I sort of looked at the book. I was like, I don't want it. And then one of my friends had got it, and I'm just like, yeah, I actually want it now. So I had to then go all the way back around. I want this book. Then I ended up getting it. It's upstairs being read. It was being read. Speaking of conventions, the few more have been mentioned to the one that I go in Nottingham. So at the moment we've got Sylvester McCoy, Brett Spiner, the guy who plays Worf, and there's somebody else, but I can't remember. The big one that I'm excited for, that I really hope doesn't cancel, is Nick Frost is going to MCon. So I'm really hoping he doesn't get cancelled, because I really want to meet him. But I'm hoping if they get Nick Frost, then they'll get Simon Pegg as well.
That'd be good.
I'd love to meet them both.
I'd like to meet those.
So yeah. I'm going to keep an eye out on them, because I haven't ordered my ticket. I'm going to order tickets after I come back from TF Nation.
When is that?
That is sort of beginning of May next year.
Oh, next year.
5th of May.
Well, keep you posted. Keep you posted on that. I might maybe see about going to that myself.
The guy that you wanted to see is going this year. Next year, sorry. The Power Ranger guy.
Yeah, Jason David Frank. Yeah,
he's going again. So
I want to meet that guy so bad, but he's going to get swamped, and he's only going to
get swamped very quickly. It looks like this year it will be the 4th and 5th of May. So
4th and 5th of May. Right, I'll keep. Is it a full weekend thing? Like
yeah, Sunday? Well, it's I think it's like 10 till 4 or 10 till 5 on the Saturday and then 10 till 5 on Sunday. So, but it's one of these things, you don't have to do the whole thing. You can go around, you can do your things. You can then go into Nottingham and have a drink or have a meal or whatever. So it's quite fun. That's what we often do. Well, I think
Yeah.
that's what me and Mum often do.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I might say about it. It all depends on cash, because originally next year, May, I was originally seeing about going to Amsterdam. Basically, I did say to Sam if he wanted to come, but I don't know if he's up for it or not. It's up to him if he does want to come or not. It's Amsterdam, so it's not going to be that expensive. It's in euros, so everything's going to be cheap. And plus, we're going on the P&O ferry, so it'll be a much cheaper way of travel. Yeah. But anyway, so we're thinking about doing that in May. But my mate Matty that we're going with, he's kind of come out of the blue saying he's got a family wedding and they're going to Benidorm again next year.
Oh,
for a pretty much, get pissed. And then obviously the wedding's going to happen. So it's not going to happen in May. We're saying about maybe it happening maybe later on next year, maybe a bit later on in the year. Don't know when yet. I said November because it's my 30th birthday next year. And I'm going to be old. And I'm going to get my grey hair and I'm going to get my bus pass and let out.
You already lost a lot of your hair, so
Yeah, I'm on my way to be old then. Well, Sam's going to be 30 before me, so it doesn't really matter.
Well, I'm going to be...
Right, I need to do this. Pretty much someone on the comment is saying, give me a shout out. So someone called Billy Lovelace. Hello, Billy Lovelace. This is your shout out. Thanks for watching. Sorry. You were saying, Lizzie? Sorry.
I'm going to be 26, so I'm the youngest of both of you.
You twat.
Well, we can all quite happily state that Tony is going to be 40 next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he hates it when you mention that. He really hates the fact that he's turning 40. Damn, I should get him a t-shirt for his birthday next year.
Oh, you should do it. It'll be fun.
I'll maybe do something to celebrate the big 4-0 for the man.
Oh, he's going to hate you.
Yeah.
I want in on the plans.
He was hating me last year when I mentioned it.
Hating you when I went last time when we mentioned it. It was on that video that John did. We're talking about it. He was like, shut up.
Yeah, we kept going on about it for ages. Honestly, there's nothing you can do about age. We all age.
Oh, never mind. I just had a thought, well, never mind, I'll put it to the side.
Well, anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to maybe start maybe wrapping things up, or do you want to go on for a bit longer? All depends on you guys.
Wait a minute.
Because we're coming up to...
We've actually been on that long now.
Well, we've been on...
Been on that long, though.
We haven't been on real long, no.
There's not really anything sort of... I don't know much of what's gone on in the world. I'd say I've been working most of the time, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I've enjoyed past conventions and the guests that we've met. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed them. But yeah, I would like it. They are starting now to kind of be a bit more original. Like this year, I like to see guests that I've never met before because I like to see how they interact with people. Because we've had some great points where literally mainly Scott McNeil. I think Gary Chalk did kind of chill out in the bar with people, but I don't think he did as much of a hard time proper party guy thing that Scott McNeil did.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Did he go to bed on Sunday 4 a.m. when he had to catch a flight at 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that?
Oh God, no.
I heard he went to bed at 4 a.m. and then left the hotel at 6 to get a flight somewhere. At least that's what I heard. He supposedly was up till 4 in the morning on Sunday night, and well, technically Monday morning, if you will. Didn't go to bed till 4. That's what I heard.
The best sort of story I've got is purely by chance. The first year I was at Auto Assembly, I was staying in a room with a friend, and we'd just come in for breakfast, so we were going back up to the room, and David Kay came into the lift with us. So we'd just gone out for a bit of a run, so he's sitting all in like tracksuit bottoms, sweating hard, having a conversation about like behind the scenes of TF Nation, not TF Nation, TF Transformers Animated. So we're having a bit of a conversation, sort of what goes on when you're sort of like waiting for recordings. And he's just gone out for a run, and he's sitting there panting and all sweating, and we're just like, oh my god. So that was fun. That's the only sort of story I've got. The fact that I sat in a lift with David Kay after he'd been out for a run, talking about the behind the scenes of TF Nation, Transformers Animated.
Yeah.
You can tell it's been a long day. I'm getting my words confused.
Oh, no worries. Don't worry about it.
Well, you've been off work. I don't know. Have you been in at work, Sam?
I've been at work, yeah. Counting down the days to TFN.
I'm counting down the days to my holiday.
Right.
I'm counting down the days for me being off on Friday.
I've got 4 weeks on Thursday.
Is it?
To TFN.
Wow.
Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
The thing is, I've got a holiday coming up soon, and then I've got about a week and a bit, and then I'm off for a week to see my gran. I'm off to Robin Hood Bay, that's just up from yourselves, and then I've got 3 days back at work, and I have TF Nation, and then I've got a week off after TF Nation. So
yeah.
Then, it'll be fun. I've still got to save for TF Nation. I don't know what I'm gonna. The problem is, I'm still in limbo how I'm actually gonna get down there, because I've now been told by the guy who's gonna give me a lift that he could possibly give me a lift, but I need to have a suitcase the size of a carry-on bag. It doesn't give me much help, given that we'll be going for 3 days. Well, technically 4 days.
I don't know why you don't maybe consider a coach. I mean, here, I'll send you a link. Me and Sam and Tony usually go down via National Express coach. It's usually a lot cheaper than train. It only costs it's usually a good 4.5 hour, nearly 5 hour journey for us, and it only costs us about £40 for a return. I don't know if they do.
The reason I don't go for coach, well, it depends on how much it will be from my end. But I can. The thing is, if I'm going to get a coach, I'll probably be going from Nottingham, which means I've got to go into Nottingham to go back out of Nottingham to Birmingham.
It's either Nottingham or Leicester, because I know Lawrence, he's coming up on the coach and he's actually getting it on at Leicester. So there's either Leicester or Nottingham, wherever's closest to you. Or you can just.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you have a coach station anywhere that does like major coach, like coach holidays, like National Express?
The only one I can think of would possibly be Derby Station. But again, I'll be going into Derby to come back of Derby. Whereas if I go to Burton, I can get a train straight from Burton to Birmingham. But
what I'll do while we're live, I'll do a quick little search and just see if there is anything that comes up for you.
Just depends on what. I mean, it sounds like my mum's actually going to take me up anyway, but it does mean that my mum's going to be in the Hilton for a bit, and she wants a meal to say thank you for driving me. So I don't know.
You could get a National Express coach from Derby to Birmingham coach station.
Oh, actually.
Which is literally where me, John, and Tony get off from there, and it's literally you'd have to go from the coach station through the Bullring shopping centre to the train station, then from there to the NEC by train. Normally how we do it. But that's one option.
Well, where do you live again, Lizzie? Is it Burton?
Well, yeah. I mean, technically, there's a little place called Newhall. Newhall, if you're not Burton like. But yeah, I think the closest sort of town would be Burton upon Trent. Or that's the problem with it. It's Burton upon Trent, Burton on Trent. It's one of these things. There's loads of ways of saying it. It just depends on.
Are you coming up on the Thursday? Was you thinking?
Yeah. Die Shadow.
And then coming back on the Monday.
Sunday.
Monday.
We are going back. Well, I'm thinking. The problem is, I think I might be getting a lift back on the Sunday. I don't know. I ain't got anything planned. But it will still be about how much I can take with me as well, because I still need a bag, possibly a swimming bag, and my backpack. Which I'm thinking of getting a no stealing one. But I don't know. I'm getting I don't mind getting a lift with my friend. He lives near me anyway. The only thing would be I'd be packing, rather than having like 3 days of like skirts, tops, and stuff. I'd be having 3 days of leggings and a dress, which. All right, well, I don't mind waiting 3 days lugging a dress, but
you can get a National Express from Newhall.
Can you?
It says Newhall to Birmingham. It will cost you £10.80, but it's a 8. Well, you don't have to. Well, there's either an 8 o'clock in the morning or 8, and they're the fastest and also cheaper. It's £10.80 both ways. And it'll take you 4 hours. And is there a change? Just let me check if there's a change. Yeah, there is. There's a minute. Let me find out if there's one with no change.
I might as well just either get a lift or take the train.
Yeah, well, you do have a change. You have to change at Leicester and get another coach from Leicester to Birmingham. But you can do it if you wanted to. And it'll only cost you 22, about 23, 24 quid, something like that, with your booking fee on top. So you're saying about £25. It's actually cheaper than us, and we're paying 40 quid.
Well, yeah, if I'm closer.
Well, yeah, because you're closer, but that's not bad at all. I mean, I'll send you it if you're interested.
Send it over. Just have a look.
But you can get one from Newhall.
If you just pick up from.
Sorry.
Wonder where they pick up from then.
I don't know. It just says Newhall. You must have a coach station or something.
Not really. We've got a bus station in Swad, but that's about it. It's not really a try that and try. Try that again. Turn. 19th. Depart. What time does TFN finish?
Sunday 5 o'clock.
It don't really say. Really, I'm wondering if it says Newhall, but really you probably might be getting it from maybe Derby way.
That's what I mean. So if it says on Newhall, I'm just doing it. Give it a quick look now.
I mean, don't quote me on it. I mean, obviously, you know your neck more than I do,
but to be honest, it's one thing I kind of want to get other things sorted first, and then like almost have this at the last resort, if nothing else. Because Mum said she was going to take me if things don't go well. It means I can pack more stuff. But the guy said that's fine. Well, it does mean my mother's going to be at the Hilton, as they say. But the guy said if I'm able.
What you need to do, Lizzie, you need to buy yourself a big giant Fort Max or a Metroplex if you see one, and you need to say, "Now this is my new love child, Mum. This is my love child," and put her in a.
You must protect it by taking it home with you.
I'm not going through that again. Did you not see me last year?
What?
I had Simon's Scorpionox.
What?
The Max Master Scorpionox about.
Yeah.
I end up being stuck with the thing. Problem is, because I'm a woman, I have hips, and the thing's about the size of a child. So I ended up having it carrying out my hip, and you had the other convention or the other sort of event going on. So I'm sitting there shouting at Simon, saying, "Pick up your child," when I'm carrying this stupid looking for fake transformer. Looks like it gets ridiculous. I'm not going through that again with a child-sized transformer. Anyway, if I take it home, Shadow will end up sitting on it most of the time, so I end up using it anyway.
It's a funny pussycat.
I know. Annoying and all blazes, but he's gone now, so it's fine. I don't even know what I want for TF Nation. I don't think I've got that much of a what I need to buy. Suppose if you got it, I'll get it. But there's no, or maybe a couple of the studio or masterpiece sort of movie things. Might get those. Looking for a barricade. I want to the masterpiece barricade, so the movie barricade. Kind of want that.
Okay. To be honest, I don't know what I want. To be honest, this year, I mean, to be honest, I don't even know how much money I'm going to have. Really, I mean, I've got my hotel money pretty much covered, but additional money, I'm not sure how much I'll have on top, because it all depends kind of how much. I mean, pretty much I'm kind of relying on my pay that I get on the Friday. When we're there on the Friday at TFN, I get paid that Friday morning. Well, it goes in at like about 1 o'clock in the morning on the
I get that
early hours Friday. So by the time we get up for breakfast, I'll be able, I'm thinking of maybe taking on the details that I need to do my card and pay it off there, and I try to kind of keep my card down as much as possible. So then once that's happened, I will have a little bit more cash to kind of be there, so that I can. So I've got cash for like food and drink for the rest of the weekend. And
I'm going to take out not tomorrow, but Thursday. I've got a few things I need to get as they ready for something. But I was thinking, if we're going into Birmingham on the Friday, rather than getting money out at the Hilton because it'll run out of money, if we go to Cash Point, I'll get some money out in Birmingham, so I'll have a little bit more. So all I need to do is pay for the room that I owe Simon the money for, and that's about it. And then whatever the rest is, whatever I get.
I mean, to be honest, I only earn one person some money, and it's pretty much an art commission I had done. So I don't know when he's getting there. I don't know if he's going to be there from the Thursday or if he's getting there from Friday, because he's actually part of the Forge. He's actually going to be in the Forge, the guy that did it for me. I need to try and find him. I owe him, I think, 25 quid, I think it is, that he asked for it, because it's a full coloured sound wave thing he did for me. G1 sound wave. So I need to track him down. I need to give him some money, but that's fine. That's nothing. But the main priority is my hotel money's sorted. My after the hotel, plus we're having to pay more this year because we had to pay normal Hilton rates. We kind of missed out on the cheaper rates. What we could have done is I did try it. I actually did the thing what they kept saying to me. I mean, I kept being told, well, don't go for the full time you go in. Just kind of like book a Friday, book a Thursday, or book a Saturday or whatever. Try and at least book at least one day where you get the rate, so it'll end up being cheaper for you. I even tried that, and it still says there's no results. So I ended up having to ring the hotel. Luckily, they knew what I was talking about, because I kind of thought they wouldn't know. Well, of course they'd know, but I didn't think they'd know about it as early as that, because I did it quite in advance. Because obviously the Hilton deals with it within a separate website and an online online thing that that they do for the convention, like a special kind of. Oh, this is gone.
Give it a sec. There we are.
Oh, that's just.
Yay. No, I looked at my laptop. I was like, oh, I should probably put a charger in. It looked like it's going to do something. And it went out of battery. So.
Nah, of course. Well, all I was saying before you decided to click away. Well, actually, what I was saying, what was I saying, Sam?
Well done.
You were talking about. I completely forgot what you were talking about.
We were talking about money, weren't we?
Because he was reading something again.
You were talking about money.
Yeah, that's right.
You're talking about getting money out because you get paid on the day before, the day of.
Yeah, money. Yeah, but like I said, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm on there now. Pretty much, I said like I owe someone for a commission that I had done, so that's no problem. I've got my hotel money, which is the main priority, sorted. But I don't know how much I'll have extra cash, spending cash. And to be honest, if I don't have that much, I'm not going to be all that bothered because whatever money I have left over, I'm going to be putting towards Benidorm, which is like a month later. So I've got like two things I need to prioritize for. I mean, obviously my hotel's the priority. And obviously this year we're having to pay more because the reason why we're having to pay more, we're having to pay for breakfasts as well on top. Because but basically that is the deal that you get with TFN is that essentially you're paying a normal rate, but you're not paying for you're getting your breakfast kind of thrown in. So you don't pay for your breakfast, which makes it cheaper. But we're having to pay for our breakfasts per day as well as the room itself per night.
Oh, it's included in the price.
It's not because they told me, "Well, do you want breakfast?" And they said, "Well, that'll be obviously you have to pay extra for your breakfast." So we're having to pay because obviously we're going to be there 4 days. And we're going to need 4 breakfasts, and it's about £15 a breakfast.
Yeah, but isn't that thrown into the hotel room price?
No, it is Art Assembly special rates. It is, but we're not paying the special rates. We're not paying the special rates this year, Sam. We're paying the Hilton's normal rates, which means you have to pay for the breakfast on top. Hence why we're paying more this year. We're paying an extra. We're paying like an extra £60 or something like that. 60, 70 quid extra than normal.
Right.
Yeah,
that's why it's more because we're having to pay for breakfast on top of the actual room as well. That's why it's more this year. But that is pretty much what it is. That is the cheaper rate. Is that essentially you pay about £60 a night per room, but you don't pay for your breakfasts, and that's pretty much where you get a cheaper rate. That you don't pay for your breakfast. That's why it's a better deal.
Yeah.
Unless you pay a little bit less than £60 as well, but essentially you're not paying for your breakfast. That's what makes it cheaper for the special rate. But for some reason, the last couple of years, their allocation of rooms for TFN's been getting smaller and smaller. They only seem to get something like 500 rooms or something like that. Like maybe a quarter of the hotel is reserved for TFN. But I know it's not. Like Billy and everyone that runs it. I know it's not their fault. Of course, it's not their fault. That they're literally trying their hardest to kind of, give us a good deal on the hotel room. And don't get me wrong, the Hilton's done them well. The Hilton has helped them out quite nicely in the past. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of thinking that they're not giving them enough rooms to cover. Because I don't think the Hilton understand how much capacity is going to be coming.
Yeah, but John, don't forget the Hilton is a hotel. Like, you can't expect them just to allocate every single room.
No, I'm not saying
they can't.
No, I'm not saying to allocate
as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying they're going to allocate the entire hotel to us. I'm saying they seem to be giving us allocations less and less. Because like we never had any problems. I've never had any problem in the past trying to book a hotel room for the Hilton. And this is the first time in the entire time of me going to these conventions that I've had to pay the normal rate. I've never had to pay the normal rate ever since we go into this thing. It's the first time I've had to do so. But the problem is, it wasn't actually my fault why I missed it. I was literally there waiting for the website to go live. And as soon as I clicked the link, the amount of people that was there on launch at the same time crashed the website for me. I couldn't load the website. So it took about 5 minutes to reload, and it took me about two attempts to book my ticket. And then by the time I got through to actually booking my hotel room, the allocation had gone within about 5 minutes. And literally, that's how fast it had gone. Within about 10 minutes, most of the allocations had gone. And it was literally just left to like the odd dribs and drab days. And then they'd gone as well by half an hour in. So about half an hour, the entire allocation had gone. So I'm guessing they're only given about 500 rooms, which would be about right. And then obviously the rest of the allocation would be for other stuff in the hotel, like other events. But like I said, it's not their fault. The people that organise it. I understand there's other things that are happening over the same weekend, and whenever TFN happens, there's always something happening in the NEC, and I believe there's something happening in the NEC again this year. And there's something happening in the hotel with us. So essentially, we get most of the allocation, and the rest of the allocation goes to whatever else is going on. But yeah, what can you do? I mean, to be honest, I was actually considering of maybe seeing about, because there's another hotel. Literally, there's actually about 3 or 4 hotels in the same compound where we are. And there's another one literally just across the way from the Hilton, and apparently it's cheaper, a lot cheaper, and apparently it's actually the breakfasts. Some people have said the breakfasts are better than the Hiltons. And they said it's just generally a better quality. People said it's a better hotel, to be honest. Pretty much just for being a hotel, just to sleep in and have your breakfast.
But that's I've always said, like, for when I visit, it depends on what you're going to use the hotel for. If like when I go to you guys, I'm just going to use the room for sleeping, having breakfast, and getting ready. That's fine. If you're going to use it for like the base of your vacation, getting, if you're having a business deal, then it depends. You have to sort of tailor it to what you're doing. Yeah. So if you're having like a business trip and you're going to spend a lot of your time in your hotel, you want something nice. You have something like the Hilton. Whereas if you're just sort of popping in and out, getting ready when you're ready, even the Hilton, a lot of the time at TF Nation, you're in there, you're going to get ready, you're going to go get ready for the panels. Yeah. Maybe if you've got nothing to do, you've dropped your stuff off, but that's about it. You're not really going to spend that much time in your room itself.
No, not really. There is a Holiday Inn, literally, I think, practically across from where the Hilton is.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Realistically, just looking at the prices, even if you did the
Premier in
there's Holiday Inn, just opposite from the Hilton. If you go Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, that's 4 nights. Hang on, let me just work this out. What's the rough estimate on that? Roughly that by 4. It'd work out at 280 quid for 4 nights, and the Holiday Inn, I believe they include breakfast in the price anywhere. So 280 quid for 4 nights between 2 people. That's 140 quid for 2 people each for 4 nights. And at that hotel, I'm pretty sure just across from the road from the Hilton, it'd be probably a 5-minute walk to the Hilton. You know what, John? It might be worth doing that one year. Actually go into that hotel, because realistically, we'd be just across the street from the Hilton.
We would, but yeah.
But Lizzie's got a point. If you really think about it, as soon as we got there, you drop your stuff off in the hotel room at the Holiday Inn, go across to the Hilton. The only real thing is you'd be sleeping there and then having your breakfast at the Holiday Inn, but you probably wouldn't be getting back there till probably gone 2 in the morning. And then by the time you've, had your woke up, had a shower, had your breakfast, it's going to be, 9:30, 10 o'clock, you'll be back at the Hilton. It wouldn't really affect you. You'd literally be, you'd be on the same schedule.
Oh yeah, you'd be on the same schedule, but I don't like the idea of being in a hotel where you've got to constantly walk back and forth if you need something. Say if you've forgotten something, you're like, oh for fuck's sake, I've got to walk all the way over there with the stuff I just bought.
Well, it's hardly a walk, mate. It's like practically 5 minutes. It's just across.
I know, but it's the idea. It's the point of that. Everything you buy, you've got to literally drag it back to another hotel. It's easy just to go into the lift, you drop it off, and you're done. I don't like having to feel that I'm having to kind of faff about. I hate faffing about. So I think a lot of people think it's just simply easier to book at the Hilton because that's where it's held. Obviously, not everybody can do that. Some people choose. There is a couple of people that choose to go to a different hotel because it's cheaper rates. That's fine, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, what Lizzie and what you were saying is right, But I just found it's a bit of a messing about that. You've kind of some hotels have a kind of a curfew as well. You got to think about that. I don't know about Premier Inn. I think they're pretty much a 24-hour thing. All hotels are 24 hours, to a point. If it's a privately owned one, then they finish about 11 o'clock. But you got to think about curfews. You got to think about how they feel.
Hotels that have curfews, mate. Most hotels have a thing. A lot of places these days, like the Ibis in Hull. After a certain time, the main door locks, but if you've got a key card, you just swipe on the main door, you get in it. Most hotels have stuff like that these days. They don't lock you out. I mean, a hotel is going to understand that you might have something to do with it, but you might not get back till late evening, early morning. They will have some system in place to say if you don't get back till gone midnight, say you go out and you're not back till gone midnight, they will have something in place like the Ibis has a swipe your key card to get back in, and there'd be something like that. It wouldn't have much of an effect. I mean, I can understand about the whole going back and forth thing, but realistically, it's not really that much of an issue. I mean, hell, you can just sit in a bar all day with your purchases and wait till the evening, but
I know, but I don't really want to do that. You know what I mean? I'm one of these people. People might think I'm a boring person with not kind of taking what I've just bought and then showing it around everybody in the bar, because apparently if you don't do that, you're a boring bastard. But quite frankly, I like to kind of buy something and then just take it straight up to my room, and then it's not in my hands for the entire goddamn day. I mean, I get where you're coming from. It would be something to consider if we suddenly have a situation and we can't get booked into the Hilton sometime, then we have no choice but to go somewhere else. But to be honest, it's just generally easier to try and book at the hotel where the damn thing's held, because otherwise you'd be going back, because obviously, we're having to go walk back and forth to try and get food anyways. Because obviously, kind of like out of the new complex over the far way, or to be quite honest, I don't like the new complex. If I'm honest, I think the food in there's shit. Except for TGI's, that was actually quite good.
Yeah.
But you're having to pay more for essentially a burger. You're having to pay more because it's TGI's and it's American style food. So you're having to pay more because of that. And obviously, I don't like the pizza thing there, Pizza Express, because we went there 2 years ago, and the pizza I had, literally, you could kill somebody with it. It was that hard, you could throw it across the road and it will probably slice someone's head off. It was absolutely awful. I don't know how you can mess up a pizza. All it is a bread. Oh, it's just bread with toppings on it. How the hell you can mess a pizza up? I don't know. But it was but it was horrible. I didn't like it. I'm not going there again. And apparently Adam White and that, pretty much we'd already eaten and was ready to leave. And then Adam White and another big group of people come and essentially kind of fobbed them up and messed them up. Some people ordered and there was waiting something like 40 minutes for the food. As some people didn't even get the food. and they just generally walked away and just didn't even eat the food at some point. They kind of ordered and never even got served properly. So, yeah, I'm not going to Pizza Express again. TGR isn't too bad. But to be honest, I'm just happy just going to the Subway and NEC and just getting myself like a foot-long sub and just make that last me. Because quite frankly, yeah, you're having to pay a little bit more that one because it's a convention centre Subway, so they charge a little bit more for the subs. But it's only about a quid or two more compared to the normal ones. But
Yeah.
I like to just take a stroll through the NEC and get myself a sub for like maybe at the lunchtime or afternoon, you know, say if there's, you know, instead of getting something to eat at the hotel because, you know, they charge ridiculous amounts for their food. So, but yeah, but obviously you've also got the far end, the airport side. You got like restaurants over there as well, and Burger King and things. I suppose you've got no choice but to walk about anyways, really. But it's just easier that you know the convention's there. But it would be so much better if there was a hotel that was big enough for us that was actually in the heart of Birmingham. Because literally when 2010 and 2011 and 2009 as well. I think they first went to the Holiday Inn back in 2008. That's when they first moved there. Obviously, I only found out about it a year previous. I only found out about Auto Assembly back in 2007, which was when I first started making videos on YouTube. I found out about it through Sammy Sadek. And then I told you about it, and then we both said you had to try and do it sometime. We was going to go in 2009. We was too late to get the tickets, so we said, right, we'll do it next year. So we went 2010. But yeah, it's being at the Holiday Inn, it was just a lot better because you was right in the smack bang in the centre of of Birmingham. You was literally across the road from the Bullring Shopping Centre. Cause obviously they've got food courts and all sorts in there. You across the road from literally right in front of you is a bunch of takeaways across the way. You've got down the road pretty much in front of you again. Down there you've got like a Wetherspoons that is pretty famous with Auto Assembly fans, attendees should I say, because essentially they went there and a few people got food poisoning from there. I think.
Oh.
I think there's a story about someone got food poisoning. A couple of people got food poisoning from the Wetherspoons. That was actually quite funny. That was, I think, 2009. Unfortunately, I missed that as well. That would be funny to watch. But I did witness a bit of a problem with Swerve's Bar a couple of years ago. Do you remember that? Where they did like a Swerve's Bar at the hotel and people ended up really ill. Luckily, I didn't go. Well, I did go. I was like, I need food. And I thought, oh, Swerve's is open. So I went there and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to bother. I'm kind of glad I didn't because I found out a few people had burgers and so and ended up really badly ill for like the rest of the day. They kind of had like tummy problems for a couple of days. So I'm kind of glad I didn't go there then because quite frankly, I think I would have been, if anybody would get ill, it'd be me.
Actually, the other same kind of topic, but not. Swerve.
Yeah.
Talking about figures that we want. I don't know how many of the Lost Light or the Modern Meets the Eye or IDW universe have been released, and there's a couple of those kind of like figures I'd be looking for if they actually do release them. But I don't know if they do. Like Rung, the psychiatrist. I know they released a third-party Tarn. Might interested in him and
Mastermind, yeah.
Yeah, and there's another one, the one that turns into like an electric chair.
Electric chair?
Yeah, there's one. Oh God, what's his name? It's Kaon. Turns into an electric chair. I was very interested in getting him as well, but I don't know if they have released a lot. I mean, they've got Calidus and the Rodimus. And they've released, so they're like the Lost Light. I've got Adrift. I've got multiple. You can find multiple ratchets, but it's like, do they have a lot of the other comic stuff, or is it just like stuff that people have done up?
Yeah.
Which is annoying because I kind of want some of them. But yeah, I might see if I can find that third party Tarn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got him. I've got Master Man Creations.
No, I saw it.
It's fantastic. It is a fantastic toy. I'm actually thinking about picking up the Shattered Glass version as well because I've got two. Yeah, it's basically like burning orange and tangerine. It's kind of like a two-tone, like orange and darker orange, and it's beautiful. Yeah. So pretty much it's Shattered Glass, which means obviously he's the good Tarn, not the evil Tarn.
So I'm asking Tarn, that K-On, and maybe if I remember seeing it, somebody did. They've released a third-party version of Wing Drift's mentor. It might be interesting getting him as well. But if I want to get other ones, I'll have to like get as close as bot to it. Like I want to do a animated Yoki-tron, but I need a bot that's quite close to him to then do him up. So I've got Lockdown, Jazz. I've got Prowl. I thought the Yoki-tron might be nice.
Yeah. To be honest,
good.
Yeah. To be honest, like I said, I have no idea what I want. I mean, to be honest, but I wouldn't mind some of the new Power of the Primes. I don't know if you've noticed any of those. Nice. I already want to get the Terracons. Pretty much they've released the Terracons as like a big combiner. So I think it's. I've forgotten the name of the combiner, actually, combined thing. But anyway, so pretty much she's like 5 figures. One's like a Voyager scale, and the rest are deluxe, which is obviously the limbs and that. So there's about 5 of them, and I most certainly most of them will be at TFN, and I want to get at least a couple of Terracons if I can.
I might like to see if they've got the Shockwave, the walking tank.
Yeah,
that might be fun. So you can then join my Shockwaves.
Well, I'm already getting a bit of a holy grail, to be honest. Hopefully, a little bit later this month. Luckily, it's gonna hit me. The money that I may have to pay for this, it's hopefully gonna hit me a couple of days after I get paid, so it's not gonna kind of mess up anything. Because by the time this money is supposed to come out, I would have already paid my credit card and things would have been kind of fine there. But yeah, pretty much there's Beast Wars Masterpiece Dinobots coming out this month. And I've had it pre-ordered now for about 3 months. 2 or 3 months. Sorry?
Who are you getting?
Beast Wars Masterpiece Dinobot.
Oh, is that actually being released?
Yeah, it's getting released this month.
Oh. I'm kind of want to look into that before I buy that.
Well, to be honest, if it's coming out later this month, it will almost certainly they may have some on Kapow. If they might have a limited amount of them on Kapow.
Yeah.
So if you want one, but they're expensive, they're like 150 quid.
Oh yeah,
They're looking about over £100 for a Dinobot because of the amount of engineering that's gone into him. And Masterpiece Beast Wars Megatron, which I also want, but he's not up for pre-order yet. He is looking at 200 quid.
Oh gosh,
the guy's massive. It's a bigger figure. It's like a full-size Masterpiece figure because he's taller than Primal. But he has more accessories. Like his head and his tail can come off, so he's got his protoform underneath.
Yeah.
So you can kind of have him in his protoform before he became the dinosaur. So you can take things off him. He's got additional bits, all sorts. He's even got a voice chip in him.
Oh.
But it's going to be Japanese because it's Takara.
No.
But I mean, I just want it because I've got Cheetor, I've got Primal. Hopefully, I've got why I'm saying hopefully is that I've supposed to have paid a fee to kind of pre-order mine through Kapow. I remember doing it, and I remember I did get a confirmation of it, but I've not heard anything more since. And according to Transformer forums and everything, it's supposed to be coming out about the 25th, around about the 25th of July. So it's kind of like a couple of days after I get paid, like 5 days after I get paid.
How much did you pay for your tarn, by the way?
Sorry?
How much did you pay for your tarn?
About 100 quid or so.
Okay.
It was about 100, I think about 100 to 110, but you got to be careful. There's a few scalpers online selling it for like nearly 200 quid. You got to be careful. It's only worth about between 80 to 100 pound. It's only worth that now because it's been out for the past year. It's a good figure though. It's worth 100 quid. There's a hell of a lot of engineering gone into it. It's certainly worth £100. I mean, £100 about right because it's about masterpiece price, really. But I want to get Shattered Glass one to go with it. But I haven't really got anything else, really. It's all like Power of the Primes Terracons. Well, I'm already getting kind of, hopefully, Masterpiece Dinobot, but but I should be getting, that should kind of, the money for that should get taken preferably a couple of days after I get paid, so I don't have to really worry about that. But it's like I said, it's the first time I've ever pre-ordered anything through Kapow, so I don't know how it goes. I'm hoping they've still got my pre-order if it has gone through, but he did say it did. I got a confirmation.
I think it would do.
But I mean, it's sold out actually. I actually checked Kapow and it's completely sold out. Dinobot. But I was lucky. I managed. It was actually up a day. I was actually really surprised. It had actually been up pretty much a whole day when I found it on Kapow. I thought, Jesus, it's still in stock and it's been up for 24 hours. Because usually stuff like that goes up and it's gone within about an hour. But yeah, I managed to pay. It's up. It says £1, and then obviously you pay the postage.
Yeah.
I did that. So I essentially paid about £6. It went through PayPal, and I got a confirmation through Kapow itself, like a statement. And then, well, I've not had anything since, and that was about 3 months ago. So
Here it is. The one I want is his name's Anarchus.
a what?
He's supposed to be turned into Kaon. I think it's 50. He actually turns into a electric chair, I think.
Electric chair.
Oh no, that turns into Scorpion. He turns into Scorpion in an electric chair. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I think I know what one you're talking about.
Is he from Lost Light?
You what?
You send us a link.
Yeah, sure.
Link.
I'm looking
I
at it
think
now.
I know the one you're talking about. Sounds familiar.
Is it from Lost Light? Did you say?
I don't know if it's Lost Light. It's he's got the DGD. So you've got Kaon. You've got. I think he might be Kaon. But he's only £74. Yeah. He looks kind of cool. But I don't know if he's sold out or not. I kind of want him. And the other one I was looking at was...
Oh, I've got him. Arantius, is it?
Yeah, that one.
Anarchus, Massman Creations, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I bet. So they do the same... yes, I'm looking at him. So the same people do... What's it called? Aero Alpha. He does a kind of looks like Wing, who's Drift's sort of dude. I'm looking for him as well. So yeah, I've been looking at that. I don't know whether I'll get him now. It depends on how much money I've got, before TF Nation and before. We have Stray, who looks a bit like. So again, Wings £79 as well, and I've got a Drift that is £79. He's nice. So I could have Drift and Wing.
What you're best doing is just waiting out on them all and just have a look around and see if you can get them, because sometimes you might be able to get a bit of a deal on them.
Yeah, I mean, these are the ones I'm kind of watching to see how much. I mean, this is the thing I've been doing. I don't know if they will do it, but sometimes people sell them on Facebook.
Yeah,
so I got
some
the
time.
Jagerson, which I might be taking to TF Nation, a lot cheaper because I really wanted him. But I think it was expensive on Kapow. So I might see if I can. Don't know how to do it on this one. Where is... Is there market on that? Look at it. Yeah, they're sort of the three ones I've got. I don't think they'll have them at TFN because they are third party. I might see if they will have at least one of them. If they've got one of them, I might buy them whilst I'm there. I know they had Calidus. I think I saw like a Ravage. Speaking of Ravage, have you seen the Oculus map? The Oculus map, the massive Ravage.
Yeah,
No.
I know the one you mean.
It's really cool. Especially with all blazers as well. Kind of want him, but I will wait. So yeah, it's like I've got to get my finances in order to just find out what I actually need, how much I need for like TF Nation and all that before I decide what I want to buy. So I don't want to buy, go out and buy all the Transformers, then have nothing for TF Nation itself.
Yeah, that is always a risk. Always a risk. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. John, you'll know it. First year of auto assembly for me and John. God, I mean, thing is, back in 2010, I got like I would have been 21. Before that, I'd been employed for 9 months on my first actual proper job, and I was on a damn good wage. I'm on pittance. I've been on pittance since then. Like, no job I've had since then has been anywhere near that wage. But anyway, I ended up spending in 2010 my very, very first ever convention. I will fully admit I spent 1,500 quid.
Yeah.
That's convention fever. That's walking into a place and thinking, "Oh my god, I had that when I was a kid," and "Oh my god, I had that when I was a kid." And you just want to buy it all because you had it when you were a kid. You kind of think to yourself a few days later, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
But we've all been there.
But then you don't seem to appreciate half the stuff you got.
Yeah, that's my problem. I want them, but then I just know they're going to go somewhere and they're not really going to be played with. But I just want them because I want them.
Yeah, that's the thing. Really.
But no, it's good to just go to see your friends rather than actually buying things. Even if you can get, maybe one or two things that maybe you definitely want or might catch your eye. But apart from that, it's an experience.
That's exactly it. I mean, you just, that's what I go for, is the social aspect, and also to meet some guests as well. Obviously there's toys there to be bought by people, but quite frankly, even though I still do buy the odd thing now and again, I'm not really collecting per se anymore. I just kind of buy stuff that I like the look of.
I've sold most of the stuff I've bought over the years. I haven't got a lot left. I mean, the only stuff I'm definitely going to keep is stuff that's signed and a few bits and pieces that I keep, the TFN exclusive figure, for example.
Yeah.
This I will keep forever because it's just worth keeping. It's a unique item.
There is something that I recently got my hands on, and I hope my mum hasn't chopped him out because it's tiny. Here he is. So, I have an obsession with with Shockwave. I love him.
Royalty.
He was a scientist. So, I saw this day up on eBay. A tiny little Shockwave.
Tiny.
Oh, that's nice.
No, it says world's smallest, but I don't think that's like the official world's smallest. The pain in the backside.
You
What do
would
you-
need to get the masterpiece.
I've got a masterpiece sound shockwave. I need a masterpiece sound wave.
I've got masterpiece. I got masterpiece Soundwave. Got masterpiece Shockwave as well. Masterpiece Shockwave is this. There's two versions now.
My little thing.
There's two versions now. They've actually released a. The one I've got is actually the correct color scheme for him, like like a lilac color. And then obviously they've re-released him as like a dark purple, like a darker purpley color. Which I'm not sure if it's a color version, like that, like a comic book version of him, because obviously there's different color versions of the characters, you know.
Yeah. One thing that I did find a bit weird, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it comes with a hand, but I don't know what the hand's for. So I don't know if he's supposed to come with a character, but I've just got a random fist.
Maybe it's for a fist for a combiner figure. You know that massive big assault master combiner things. It might be one of them big fists that's actually kind of so you can hold him.
It could be. It's just a bit weird. I've got this fist, but I don't know what it goes to. So I've got a little tiny shockwave.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how you often get weird little bits on them that you don't quite know what to do with. Because I'm generally in the mindset at the moment as to maybe start looking into stuff that I appreciate more. Because most of the Transformers that I've bought over the years, to be honest, a lot of them are just sat in a cupboard.
Yeah.
Nothing with them. And most of those are sold. You know, the only ones I've kept, like I said, are the ones that are signed, and I think I've only got 4 that are actually sat in the boxes and are signed. And a few that I'm keeping just because I like them, but the rest are sold. And what's really interesting is a few months ago I sold one. I can't remember. Well, it was the Black Leo Convoy, but it was the Japanese variant. I had that for years, just sitting in a cupboard. In the end, I thought.
Speaking of Leo Convoy.
I say it was sat in a cupboard for years. I probably had it almost 10 years. And about a few months ago, I just thought to myself, I know I do like it. It's been sitting here for 10 years. I've not even opened it. And I thought, forget it. So I shoved it on eBay. And funnily enough, the person who bought it was from Japan. So it ended up going back to Japan, where it originated from. Shadow, honestly, you're a funny pussycat.
He's jealous of my Soundwave.
Shadow. Look at the camera, Shadow. Look at the camera. Oh, you have such lovable eyes. They're so cute.
He only really looks at the camera. Oh, Shadow, don't do that.
Oh, how much do you want for him? I'll give you money for him. He's so cute.
Yeah, he's so cute when he looks at you. He's not quite so cute if he's crawling over you when you're trying to do things.
I bet he'd get on really well with my dogs.
Shadow, look at the camera. Hey.
Oh, he's got really big, questioning eyes, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's in a good mood today. His eyes generally go like that. You have to go back. You have to go there for a moment.
He's tossing over your shoulder.
Yeah, he's into it.
He don't care.
Yeah, he has big eyes when he's hungry or when he sort of wants attention.
Go back here now. It's just gonna, get in the way.
Get over there. Come here. I can't see where you're looking at, Shadow. Look at the camera.
You got pretty big eyes.
No, it's just on my laptop. You might get some random messages now because it's sort of pressed on the. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, you got GTY66666R44.
Well, that's apparently a new code for something. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's probably cat code to feed me.
You know what that translates to, Sam?
No, yeah.
You are a wanker. In droid talk. I'm not joking. It'd be 010010101, I don't know, something.
The fact that you actually know that is a bit creepy.
Actually, it's probably more like Grand Theft Auto 66,000 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. He's probably saying "feed me" in cat language, in code.
I forgot I said in pair there. I went right through the camera.
Yeah, he's now tried to sit right on the microphone, so I can't really do much. Look, Shadow, come up here. Come up here. There we go. There we go, boy. Look. Look at the camera. Look at the camera, Shadow. Wait, Shadow, look at the camera.
Reminds me, Lizzie, do you still want that My Little Pony changeling?
Yeah, that's what I owe you money for that.
Yeah, so I just wondered because I've still got it.
Okay, so she wants to put My Little Pony figure, and she's never even watched the show yet.
Shut up, you.
You have to watch it to appreciate the character.
No, there was something that I can't remember why I wanted it. Why did I want it? Oh, I wanted the little changeling figure that looked weird. I wanted it.
Watch it. Watch it.
You don't want it.
You know what? If you want to come down to Tesla on Friday, I've got the first 3 seasons on DVD. We can watch. I'll show you the first 3 episodes if you want.
You do get Twilight with it, by the way. It's not just Changeling.
It's fine. I'll just have the changeling. I can decide what I want to do with the other part.
Especially the changelings don't have a sex because they can change into male, female.
Well, technically, because considering the way the changes are, they're effectively all drones.
Mm.
Shadow, what are you doing? Shadow, what are you doing?
No, what is he doing?
Yeah. No.
That looked very questionable. What the hell was he doing there?
It was something questionable.
Yeah, I thought it was.
He's just needing you. It's what cats do to get comfy.
He wasn't. Trust me, he wasn't.
He was needing you. I saw him with his paws going like that.
Yeah. No, before that, he wasn't.
I never saw that bit.
Exactly. Look at the camera. The internet loves cats. Look at the camera.
Oh yeah, the internet loves cats. The internet's full.
Oh, Shadow, you on my laptop thing again. If I could keep you looking at the camera and does not touch the laptop, you'll be fine. And nope, too late touching the laptop.
He doesn't comprehend words unless it's his name.
He likes being stroked. He likes being stroked.
But yes, he's a cat, and plus he's a man as well. He likes things being stroked.
Yeah, well, is that the voice of experience there, John?
What?
Men like to be stroked. You heard it here first. You comfy now, Shadow? You gonna calm down? I don't think he even fits in here. Oh no, he does. He does, but very stupidly. How do I get shot with today? But it comes with a random, random fit, and I can't work out why. Because it doesn't go through anything, Shadow. You're on the laptop. No.
Okay.
Behind there, sit there. Apparently, go behind there and sit there doesn't actually mean anything to Shadow.
Have you got any more cats, Lizzie, or just the one?
I've got 2. I don't know where the other one is.
I've never seen the other one. It's always just Shadow that hangs around.
Shadow's very much looking for attention, whereas Tink does not. Tink, being a stray cat, is not a fan of touching. She doesn't do touching. Oh gosh, that didn't go well. Whereas Shadow, I've had him since a kitten, so he's used to people. He's used to being petted. Whereas Tink, as I say, Tink was a found cat, so she didn't like being petted at all.
Oh.
They both.
kind of similar to my cat. I mean, we got out. Well, both of the cats. Well, all the cats I've had 3 over the years. We've got 1 now, obviously, but yeah, all of them have been from cat protection, and basically the cat, basically a cat called Susie that I had pretty much when I was younger, when growing up. She was lovely, you know. She'd literally lay on your lap. She'd let you fuss her and everything. But then when we got the other 2, which is the cat I've got now and the one that we had before, you know, my cat called Garfield. He was awesome. He was just a big, soft, squidgy mess. And then obviously Mindy, the cat we've got now, she's literally. She'll come around you. She'll you know, nudge you, kind of lovingly nudge and let you stroke her, but she won't let you pick her up, and she won't like, you know, lay on your lap or anything like that. She don't like that kind of thing. She don't like being picked up or anything. So I've got a feeling she's been thrown. Pretty much the people at Cat Protection think she's been thrown somehow from pretty much a high height maybe. And she just doesn't like being picked up at all. And the other cat, he had brain damage. He was kicked in the face.
Yeah, Gaffy had a bit of a tilt, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a wonky eye, which was kind of because of his brain damage. And he literally was kind of all over the place. He had no. He had his center of gravity was kind of all over the place. His balance was all over the place.
Yeah.
He did get better. He improved, but then he started going downhill. He just literally started going to the toilet in the house, and when cats start doing that, you know something's gone wrong. When they just can't go to the toilet outside, because all the cats we've never had any toilet issues with them. They've always been toilet trained already, or they've got the initiative to go outside and go to the toilet. So pretty much he started to kind of mess in the house a little bit.
Yeah.
My dad said, yeah, we need to go to vets with him because that's not normal. He usually goes out to toilet. Now he's literally got to the point where he simply just goes to toilet wherever he is. So we found out that pretty much he was on his way out. So sadly, we lost him. Lovely cat though, lovely cat. One of the best natured cats I probably have. Well, next to my cat called Susie. You know, he was probably the second most nicest cat we've had. The one we've got now, she's nice. She's come out of a shell a little bit now since we've had her, but she's just a grumpy old woman now. She's just, you know, she only wants food and the odd pet now and again, and anything else, no.
Makes sense. I mean, this one pretty much just wants attention and food.
Yeah, that's cats. All I want is food.
Yep. I think, you know, they want something else, but he can't get it because Tina doesn't like him. It's just you live in a female society. Given it's me, mum, and the other cat, which is a female. This is the only time you hear the sound of a male, apart from the postman. See? Mind you, he did quite like my best friend because he was a male, and he used, when we were sitting watching horror movies, he'll sit and sort of crawl over his lap, and I'm sitting there like, "Don't do that, Shadow." He didn't ask for that. He doesn't mind, but you know, you feel bad.
Cats are always the funny little things, really. Sometimes they're happy, other times they're mopey, sometimes you want to be picked up, other times you don't want to be picked up. Complicated little creatures.
You're complicated, aren't you, Shadow? You love me, then you don't love me, then you want attention, then you don't want attention. I'm slightly concerned whether he's been in fights or something. He's got like scratch marks on his fur and bits are missing. He's either been scratching it or he's been in a fight.
Cats scrap all the time. We had a cat called Ginger Puss who used to fight constantly. He was some massive scars. Half his ear got cut in two once. We don't know about what. He had a fight with something and he came in one day absolutely beaten up, and one of his ears had been slashed down the middle. We don't know. I think he maybe had a fight with a dog. We weren't sure, but he healed up all right. Apart from he lost the tip of his ear, but apart from that, he was all right.
I think Tinks has that. The other one, she's got like a chunk missing. I don't know whether that is, again, she's been in a fight or whether that is abuse.
Mm.
But no, Tinks is the rescue cat. She does sit on your lap, but she's not very like forthcoming. So she doesn't, as you say, she doesn't like really being picked up. She'll sort of crawl all over you to make sure you're okay, but apart from that, she's just kind of there. Whereas Shadow's very much giving me attention because he's used to having a family looking after him, and
yeah, he's used to all the attention.
pretty much, yeah. Going from a family where it's just me and him and Mum, and then me looking after him when I'm back from college, to having me, Mum, and another cat, and Mum goes out to work and I'm going out to work. Shadow just kind of not sure what to do with himself. Oh, you cat. And then as soon as I'm back, thing is, even if I'm in the car and just open the door, if Shadow's on the grass but not looking at me, he'll come straight over. He kind of knows when I'm home. Isn't that right, cat? Except you didn't know today because I was late home today. And I think he's gone to sleep. All that give me attention's worn and out is now asleep. I think he's too. Mind you, we thought he went missing on Sunday because we hadn't seen him all day. I thought in the heat he'd gone in, maybe a garage, and after somebody'd been doing the lawn and he'd got stuck. But he seemed fine. He came back. He's really nice when he's not crawling all over me. Aren't you, Shadow?
Anybody want to see Art Assembly 2009 Tony's video?
Have you found it?
I found it. It's Art Assembly 2009. It was made 9 years ago. You want to see what Tony looks like 9 years later? 9 years ago. He looks weird. He started. Well, this is his original. For some reason, he was unable to log back into this site to this thing, so he made a new Facebook. I'll try and send it to you. For some reason, when I send things over this thing, it doesn't work. See if it comes up. It come up?
Yeah,
anything pops up?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it, Lizzie?
Yep.
Oh man, that's a bad quality image then.
That is the first video. That is the first video I watched of Tony's when I was looking up Art Assembly when we were thinking about going, and that is literally the first time we actually got to know him, and we knew he was, and we found out he was from Hull.
Jeez. You look so baby face. That's the problem.
That hair is just weird.
So floofy. Mind you, I wonder if I've got any images of me 9 years ago. Did I show you a picture, John, of me when I was like really, really young? When I was France.
I think you did, yeah.
My mum found me my French album because I turned 9. No, I didn't. I turned 10 in France as a school trip. So there's like the whole photo album. I was like, I look so young. Also, I had my hair up in those like headband things to keep hair from your face. So I thought that was a lot of my pictures have those in. I think one of them has me in pigtails. What image do I have of me? How do we? Is there a way to look at me 9 years ago? I have a lot of stupid stuff on my Facebook. A lot of things that. Oh, I miss having my hair curly. Actually, next time I'm down, are we going to Starbucks again?
Oh, no doubt we will do.
Yeah. I can't have my Starbucks.
What do you mean when we all meet up?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's easier. You know, you know where it is. We all know where it is. It's just easier and just meet up there.
But if I somehow go walkabout,
I will have
It's so amusing, really, when you look at the train station interchange, considering that Starbucks is the only damn shop that's there. The rest of those units are empty.
Yeah.
I am going to get this right. This is
Like literally, there's Starbucks and there's 4 empty shop units that so far have not been vacated. I mean, Leeds, there's nobody there. It's just weird.
You know, at some stage, I am going to get this right. This is the 7th attempt at this video. YouTube just told me.
I found old images of me of TF. No, somebody did a lockdown. No, that's something else.
Here I am again. I'm sorry for the bad quality.
Was Neil Kaplan?
Shit. Funny fucking Daisy lines and shit. And it looks black and white, but it isn't. Because I can get any colour. No, it's black and white.
I'm holding a pushing up to the time. Oh my god, there's a picture of you, John, and oh god, what's the guy? Phil. When I got he got that the Perceptor and Blaster 2-pack. And he's handing it to you. It's like you're like, oh, like that. And I think
I remember that. Yeah, yeah.
Like a TF Nation proposal.
That was Art Assembly. That's
2015.
Yeah, that was the second one he went to. He only went to about 3.
Did he?
He only went to about 3, and he's never been since. I'm not going to go into details. There's a lot of stuff in his personal life that happened.
I think I know. Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of like a little joke. That was like with the 2-pack.
I'm just going through my images. I literally just found it, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Well then, guys, what do you want to do? Do you want to call it a night? We're coming up to about just over an hour live, probably about an hour and 20, maybe an hour and a half. It's just gone 11:30, or do you want to keep going?
I'll answer that once I find. I'm still looking at images.
I mean, like I say, we're not in any rush. If anyone wants to keep carrying going, we'll carry on going. But
at some point, I will need to head off because I'm on the early shift this week.
No,
buddy.
Well, I've got to be up a bit earlier tomorrow because I'm at doctor's before I start work. Got my asthma checkup. Lovely. You know, I didn't even know it was a year gone by. I literally thought my asthma checkup's not until usually about November. I usually have it around about November, October time, my asthma checkup. I'm sure it's earlier this year. They're going to pull some out saying, no, you're ordering too much of your prescription. We're going to have to put you on a bigger one. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with my asthma. I've been fine for fucking years.
Lizzie, what's that power bank you've got called? That really good one you've got?
Oh, I've got a few.
That big one you brought
on me.
Yeah.
Juice, it's usually called, if it's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because I'm looking at getting a power bank mainly for when I go to TFN because I don't actually have one, and I'm just looking up to see which ones are worth looking into.
Yeah, I mean, I actually got quite a few on last payday just for when I next come up. I've got the one I use is the power station one. It's about that big. It does quite a few charges. I've got a really big, like, quite hefty one, about that big. The only annoyance I have with that one is to check the charge, you have to like give it a smack, and it doesn't always show me charge. But yeah, it's the I'd certainly recommend Juice for their I say for their power banks, but also for their cables as well. My only issue now is that because of my phone's charge is a different bottom to the usual ones, I have to get a whole load of little adapters attached to them. because
Is it the Juice high capacity portable power station?
what's it look like? Does it have a silver bit on the top, then colour at the bottom, or is it just all one colour?
It's just black.
Because if it's all one colour, then that's good. That's the one that I was telling you have to smack it to see what time and see how much charge it is. The ones that I often use have like a silver rim at the top, and then the bottom are a different colour. So whether it's blue, pink, black. Shut up, John. It depends on what you're looking for. I mean, what was the one I use? I don't think I've got one around me to kind of advise. I think I might have the box.
7 hours ago now, it seems. What's going on? No, 6.5. Officially going to auto assembly, which I can't wait for. The only thing I've got to do now is buy my ticket and buy my and sort my hotel out.
What you done with here?
I get it done, quicker it's sorted, and everything's hunky dory in the world. Yeah. Also, I'm a.
The one so the Juice Power Station, which I think is the one that you were talking about. I think that might be the one. So my thing's loading quite slowly. Yeah, so the Juice Power Station, they're all one colour one. Oh, they've got headphones.
I did have one a few years ago, but it died. It was one that was a pretty basic one, really. But I'm looking for something that's just got a good charge and obviously a good recharge rate.
That one's really good. The Juice Weekender one's quite good as well. It depends on what you're really looking for. So, I mean, I've got the Juice Squashed XL as well, which does mine for about one charge, maybe 1 or 2 charges. But they all do different things. I mean, the Weekender will do you 1 or 2 charges, and then you'll need charging. The big one that you're looking at, I think it does at least maybe 2 or 3 charges before it needs to be recharged again. But it does need a long charge, like overnight, if you're going to use the recharged other one. I might have a look at what's the Festival Essentials. No, it's not that. But yeah, Juice are definitely the ones that I've used. I like their plug-in wall charger because it charges my phone quite quickly, and then you've got, let's say, your power banks, which is useful. I use a lot of power banks overnight.
Let's see what we've got here.
I think John's been possessed.
I pity the demon that's trying. Well, they do quite a bit, don't they?
Yeah, they do a whole load.
Did they do orange juice as well? Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Well done.
I've just got a big power bank thing. It's got enough charge in it to charge you can charge like cameras on it and all sorts on it. It's not as big as the one that you've got, Lizzie, the one that you usually bring down with you, but it's what's the capacity? I think it's like 15,000 or something like that. It's bigger than the other one that I used to have. And I can get like probably two mobile phone charges out of it at once, maybe 3 or 2.5, maybe something like that. I think it works at maybe 2.5 charges of a phone, and maybe about 2 or 3 charges of a camera. It's quite a good one. I'm taking that to Benidorm with me and to TFN. Help me out with my camera, because I'm taking an actual camera as well as my phone this year, because of last year I took a camera with me, 2 cameras with me, but the one that I took, my phone crapped up. Pretty much all my clips, majority of my clips got corrupted, and I wasn't able to use them. And I only had so many on another camera, so I've got a new phone now, and it works, touch wood, works brilliantly. And I've got a new I got a camera for my birthday last year that I'm gonna be bringing along with me as well. Same with Benidorm.
Okay.
So I've got a power brick that can charge two things at once. So I can kind of charge everything pretty easily. The only problem with it is it's quite slow at charging though. It's not a quick charge thing. The cable it came with, it takes about 7 hours for it to charge fully. It takes a while to charge the thing I've got because it's not a quick charge. It's a slow charge. The cable it came with is not a quick charge cable. But the problem is my phone is a quick charge phone. It comes with a quick charge cable, and it actually uses a bit more power for the power brick. It actually uses a good quarter of the battery power just on charging once on it, but it can withstand it a lot more compared to the other one I've got. I've got like a little one, but I don't even get a full charge out of that one now. It's because the problem is with these power bricks, they only last so long. The power cells in them only last about, depending on how much you use them, if you completely rav them, if you're constantly using them, they'll probably only last a couple of years. The one I've got, my dad got me it ages ago, and I've had it probably about 3 or 4 years, maybe about 3 years now, 2 or 3 years, and it's the last year I've noticed the power capacity coming out of it hasn't been very good. I've been probably getting about 80% charge on my phone. I've not been getting a full charge like I did when I first bought. Well, the phone I've got now has actually got a bigger battery capacity compared to the one I had before, but I still had problems with that one. It wasn't charging. And plus, for some reason, my phone actually killed Sam's, didn't it? Sam,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah, I remember it was downloads.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it was because the power bank I had at the time, I think it wasn't built for like your phone's kind of power. So when you plugged it in, it just fried it.
Well, to be honest with you, the phone you have or you had at the time and the one I had, your battery capacity was larger than mine. The phone I had at the time was about maybe around about, I think it was about 23,000 ohms, something like that. The battery of it, and I think your phone's actually more than that. But for some reason, I had a problem with my phone. Anyways, the battery, it wasn't holding charge properly. So I think that was the problem. It was actually using more it was actually taking more power out of the brick than it should have been. It was actually sucking life out of the damn thing really quickly. So there was
I'd like to find me from 9 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I've attached it to the chat. The problem is I ain't really changed that much.
No, it was only last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really did not leave school last week. Do you mind, Shadow?
That's weird. How old was you in 2010? Don't mind me asking.
2010, I would be 17.
You were 17. Jesus Christ.
Or yeah, I'd probably be, depends on sort of what part. So I left school
I'm going for 21.
16.
I'd have been going on for 21. Sam would have been 21 and I would have been going on for 21.
So I'd be sort of 16, 17.
That was the first year of our assembly. Now, with you saying 9 years ago when you was at that trip with school or something, saying about 9 or 10 years ago, and I thought, Jesus Christ, how old was you? And I was at I was at the bar at friggin' TF at Art Assembly getting pissed back in 2010.
Well, yeah, I mean, I left the high school June in 2009, and then
yeah, because you used to leave at 16, but now you can go up to 18 now, can't you?
And then I I've had a couple of years in college. So it's probably 18. Might be sort of 18ish.
Yeah.
And then 2011 was my first auto assembly.
Now the scary thing is, I left school in 2006. So you would have been pretty damn young. That's a scary thing. I feel old.
I told you I'm 26 next year.
Yeah, I finished school in 2006, and I went to college for about 2 years, and then I was 2.5 years, nearly 3 years on the dole because that credit crunch hit. And then I got a job at Asda, which was in 2009. 2010. Sorry. So the year of me going to auto assembly was the first year of me starting work.
Whereas my first year of starting work it would be coming up to 3 years in October.
Cool.
I did job point.
Well, I'm coming up to 9 years now since I've been at Asda. 9 goddamn years. It was all supposed to be a bloody stopgap. Seriously, it literally between me coming off dole and me getting a job. I was only supposed to kind of do maybe a year or two and then try and find myself something better. It never happened.
Obviously,
but end of the day, it's a job, innit? You know, it's a job. I've proven I can keep the job down for the past 9 years. Nearly
7 months. No, sorry,
But
8
yeah.
months.
Sorry.
No, I've effectively been I've been at Primark now for roughly 9 months. I'm promising myself it is only going to be a temporary thing. Not to sound harsh, I promise myself I am going to next year when I've got a solid year in next year after Christmas. I'm going to do my damn best to get into another job, one that's better paying and better hours. Because my last job before my current job was the same pay that I'm on right now, and it's not the best pay really. And then before that, I was on a 6-month contract job that was absolute terrible pay. Before that, I was on a 9-month contract job at the job centre, which was absolutely brilliant pay. I really wish that they'd kept me on, because I'm convinced that if I'd have been kept on at the job centre, I probably would have my own place by now, because of the money I was on. I could have easily saved up for my own place. I know I could have done it. I just haven't had the money. I haven't got the income at the moment. I haven't had a proper income in 6 years. I've been on low income jobs for the last 3 jobs have all been low income.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Oh, I had my hair cut earlier, and I think some stray hairs are going up my nose. Lovely. Oh, by the way, at least I don't look as bad as Matty at the moment, right? Obviously, you've met Matty, haven't you, Lizzie?
Yeah.
I did text him saying you was coming, and maybe meeting up on the Saturday. I have heard from him, but he's not said anything about meeting you. But if he does come out, all I'm going to say is it could be quite amusing. He's taken it upon himself to shave his entire head off. He has no hair.
Why has he shaved his hair?
Because it is hot and he did it to cool down. Yeah. Next time I see him, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to send it to him. No, to be honest, you don't have to. Actually, no, I'll leave you in suspense. If he does come out, I'll leave it for him to show himself. To be honest, my hair's been cut short, but at least I've got hair on top of my head. But he's zero hair. Literally, obviously, by the time we go to Benidorm, it'll be pretty much grown back. But it's God, he looks so weird. It just looks like a giant baby. That's what it looks like. It looks like a giant walking baby pushing trolleys. That's what it looks like. It looks hilarious. I mean, some people can pull it off. You know, some people can pull off the whole bald head shaven look. But usually those guys are hard nutcases that live in London and called Cottonies. But he's a guy that lives in Hull, that lives with his mom. And I still live with my dad, but still. But yeah, so it's kind of like it's just like a kid that lives in Hull, and he just doesn't seem to suit him. You know, I don't know why he just didn't kind of just like shave it a bit shorter than normal instead of just completely gone.
Maybe he did try and shave it shorter than normal, but it went wrong, so he kept shaving and shaving and shaving, and then.
I think he said, because he said it cost him £10 to shave his entire head off. £10. So he said it cost me £10 to shave the entire thing off. I'm like, why don't you just say, can I have a number one? Just because number one is kind of short, pretty short. I don't know what the one I did today. I mean, it was a mixture of scissors and a bit of touch up with the thingy trimmer. And then I just shaved my beard down a little bit to kind of go along with it.
Yeah, but you're losing, as we've already stated, you're losing your hair anyway, so it won't be long until you won't have to do much anyway.
To be honest with you, you know, I am losing the hair on the back of my head. I mean, I'm going to wait a bit longer and see how it goes, and eventually I'm probably just going to either kind of keep it pretty short, like this, or just gone. But I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't think that'd suit me being completely bald. I think what I might do is I might just kind of do it really short, so as you can still see I've got hair, but you know it kind of works well because of the loss of hair at the back.
Yeah.
Or I do a Donald Trump and get myself one of his wigs.
Oh God, no.
The only problem is I won't look like an orange tangerine.
True. I think you're re-dyeing my hair, but I don't know how I was going to do it.
Electric blue.
Pink.
Yeah, I'd have to bleach it and then redo it again.
Pink.
Again, I'd have to bleach it and redo it again.
The black of the void.
No.
Again, I was thinking the problem with
rainbow
my hair is unless it is one that I can just put it in and out. If I've got to dye it and bleach it and re-dye it, then it's a two-person job. I can't do it myself. I can't reach all my hair because my arms won't reach. So it depends on what mum's willing to put up with. Also, I make a mess when I dye my hair. Same with peas, and I can't reach my hair. I did notice on one of my pictures, I used to have it black sort of downwards, and this part was a pinky colour. I kind of miss doing that, but again, having to actually get it done, just a pain in the backside. I think of maybe re-dyeing it for.
I've got that problem as well. I have so much problems with my hair, and you know, putting colours in my hair, and I have so much problems with that, as you can tell.
Yeah, that's what you've been dyeing it so much, so you're losing it.
Yeah,
you should bleach your hair white.
You can't see it.
Honestly, poor John. Look what your dad's DNA's done to you.
Aww. Nothing more I would discuss that.
You can't talk, Sam. Give you another 5-10 years, and it look like a lonely island in the middle of your forehead. Because you're going the worst way, losing your hair like that, and getting on the back, which is normal.
Which means you can't see it.
The only problem is the very good thing I could get one of those little cap things and put it on the back of my head, and you can't see it.
What about that thing you put on Facebook?
What thing?
That wig thing that actually molds to you.
Yeah, apparently there's like new wigs that look absolutely real, and you can kind of like gel and comb them. They kind of like they kind of can be cut by a barber and shaped and styled, but they're actually just like a wig. I can't be asked, to be quite honest. I mean, I was thinking about going into the whole thing of maybe kind of maybe getting hair replacement surgery that you can get. But I've heard apparently it's not to do it because apparently it's very, very painful, and apparently the recovery side of it is absolutely terrible because you have really horrible pains in your head for months. And obviously, you've got to wash your hair and everything. So you've got literal like open wounds that are going to be opening with you put shampoo in it and everything. So it's kind of like apparently a lot of people say that it's probably the most painful thing you can have done because it's right on top of your scalp, so you can feel everything.
Mm.
I don't know what to do.
Quite like women can have wigs and it doesn't really matter. Because I've got a couple that I used to wear when I just wanted to, if I wanted to have my hair black and red and not actually dye it. So I'd have a wig on. It's just a pain in the back, so I'd get it all sort of sorted and put your hair up. I just kind of gave up. So I've got a brown one and a black one kicking around somewhere.
I have the brown one and I'll cut it to shape.
You can do, but it's very, very long.
Yeah, I cut it to shape. So it'll be like short.
You'd have to put a lot off it. It comes down to at least my waist.
And I can super glue it onto my head.
Okay, cool. I think on that note, I better toddle off. I've got work tomorrow.
So but
I think we all have work. To be fair.
2 more days, 2 more lovely days, and then we're off for me and Lizzie are. Oh, poor Sam boy, he has to wear.
Are you still working?
What? Yeah, I'm working Friday, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I could work Friday, but
I've got an idea. Sam finishes work at 6 o'clock on Fridays. Oh, well, when he works, he finishes at 6. I've got an idea.
Oh dear.
If you wanted to go back into town, we should go and pay Sam a visit and you can buy a really revealing, very sexy thing to put in front of him to see how bashful his face is, and I can film it and put it on YouTube.
There is one slight problem with that.
What?
There's nothing that's going to fit me in there.
That's true. Nothing fits me in there either. It's all for anorexic people, I think.
So I could pick one, but it'd be like...
No, literally, I hate Primark. I've gone in there and I've literally picked up 2 or 3 XL t-shirts, and 2XL usually fits me perfect. But I go in there and it's like I put a medium on me. It don't even go over my head.
It's fine. I'll just get, I don't know, a couple of Beauty and the Beast things and put it in front of him. These, Sam.
I usually get my t-shirts from George at Asda because usually the stuff from there, there's only been a couple of them where they've been a little bit tighter than normal. And so I've had to kind of maybe get like a size up, like a 3XL instead. But majority of the t-shirts I get from work, 2XLs fit me very nicely. And generally, we get some pretty nice designs in, actually. We've got some pretty nice ones in at the moment that I'm thinking of picking up to go to Benidorm with, some like summery looking t-shirts. Because I've got a load of t-shirts with like motifs on and everything, but I want to try and get some that are, that are more summery and kind of work for going somewhere sunny. Mm-hmm. Also, there's a really good one, like a Spin on the Rolling Stones album. The one where it's the lips and the tongue.
Oh yeah.
And it's actually got there's a football on it. It's a World Cup t-shirt, obviously, for the football, but it's actually like a Rolling Stones t-shirt with a football in it. I'm thinking of getting that because it looks pretty summery because it's a white one, and it kind of looks kind of perfect for partying and going clubbing.
So what I usually do is I go to a place called Yours Clothing, and I often get a couple of tops from there, or a couple of dresses or whatever. Because I quite like that stuff. They're more designed for. They actually do stuff for plus size for men and women. Yours Clothing is for the females, and then I think it's called Bad Rhino does like plus size for males. So there's one in Burton. So I'm thinking of possibly popping in there and getting maybe, as I say, a dress or something before I toddle up, and then it might mean that I'll have that instead of bringing something too not having to pack quite so much.
Mm.
So if I've got the space for it, then I can have something for another day. I don't know. I don't entirely know what I've planned for. Depends on what time I get up on the Friday to get a train, but
yeah, patience is a virtue. I'm going to happily wait.
Well then, guys, shall we call it a day? It's now midnight.
give or take. But yeah,
Well, a couple of minutes too. For God's sake, my doom clock's out of crack. Freaking computer.
Your doom clock's always out of whack.
Anyway, so it's been good talking to you, Lizzie, as always, and it's been not so good talking to you, Sam. Oh, I'm joking.
No
So, yeah, it's been fun. And I'm just going to pick my nose live on feed.
like,
I'm joking.
you wonder why I don't want to very
It was
many
my
of you.
thumb. It was my thumb. What?
I wasn't looking at you, so I don't actually know if it was or not.
That's so good. We are all happy.
Yes.
Well, anyway, so I'm going to bring it to an end now. So thank you for everybody some people that actually watched. Yes, so until the weekend, I shall see you soon, Lizzie, and you, Sam, as well.
Yeah,
And
take care.
peace to you all.